Yes. Yes, we are. We are here. We are right here.
We are back for the season finale.
We are right now. This is Off the Grid, Uncommon Ground. Season 4, episode
8.
You got it, Schwaber.
The Ocho.
Episode 8. Welcome back. You can subscribe to our podcast, Off the Grid, Uncommon Ground, on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can visit us on Facebook, on YouTube, leave a review. We like to have fun. What is this all about? Well, Off the Grid, it's about things that are, not necessarily on the grid. We've been around the block a few times. We see things, we hear things, we think things, we love, we laugh,
we fight,
we do it all.
Mm-hmm.
But we like to talk about this. We like to talk about things that are, maybe not on your grid. We like to talk about news that we think is important. We like to talk about lists that make sense to us and should therefore, by extension, make sense to you.
You betcha.
We like to talk about things that we watch and what we think you should watch. We call that stream sauce.
Mm-hmm.
We like to talk about, how much money it would take for us to do something absolutely ridiculous or
indeed
not. And, we like to talk about people that we love and people that we hate.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else that I can do with this, Schwaber? I mean, is there anything I'm missing here?
Well, the only thing that you're missing is news headlines.
Oh, well, I did say we'd like to talk about news.
Oh,
so,
did you?
yeah, maybe what we need to do.
But then, I don't know if you said not your mama's news.
Well, then in that case, I think it's time. Yes, it's time for a little Not Your Mama's News. What is that, Mark?
Well, we grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and during that time, way back in the prehistoric ages, there were only a few channels to choose from: ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, maybe something else. I don't know. Before cable came around, and it was the same thing every night. Serious stories.
Yes.
Talking poverty,
volcanic eruptions,
tornadoes, tsunamis,
things that
World War.
Yeah.
Serious stuff. And they would be given to us by respected figures such as Tom Brokaw.
Yeah.
Walter Cronkite, Dan Rather.
Yep. Peter Jennings. Yes.
And, we came to the realization that there's a lot more interesting news out there.
Yeah,
that's the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
Who's killing who somewhere in the world? Right? Yeah. We know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody's killing somebody.
Yep.
I mean, it happens every day.
It sure does.
Yeah. So let's start with something that's not your mama's news, Mark. What is this here? What are we looking at?
Well, I know that you are quite the fan of aliens.
I don't know that I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But I definitely believe in them.
Yes. Now here, a Las Vegas non-human UFO encounter traumatizing. It was traumatizing, a teen says. That is the actual figure. This is, believe it or not, this is supposedly a video.
What?
And that is the figure.
What?
Yeah, for real. Well, let me tell you a little bit more about it.
Okay, go ahead.
So I can maybe make some sense out of this for you.
Please.
Okay?
Yeah.
So a Las Vegas teenager who claimed something crashed in his backyard last year prompted a 911 call about a non-human being. This was Angel Kenmore.
Yeah, and that guy doesn't look like a teenager to me, but whatever.
Well, I think it was other people at the house.
Okay.
Said he saw a giant creature he believed to have been a demon.
Okay.
He said he felt paralyzed after looking at the entity for about 30 seconds. He remembers closing his eyes and praying for it to go away. So it was moving and breathing. It was pissed off, like it wanted to do something looking at me.
Maybe it was trying to find its Domino's delivery driver.
That could be. But, so of course, people then did not believe him. Right.
Right.
And he said, they can think whatever they want. If I was doing it for the fame, I would be on YouTube. I made no money off of this. I don't need money. It was a really bad and traumatizing experience.
Right.
Now, the police body camera footage from Las Vegas showed flashes across the sky.
I think I remembered this.
Which added to the intrigue, to the mystery. So the American Meteor Society says that they're sure it was a meteor that caused a streak in the night sky, with 21 reported sightings across California, Nevada, and Utah.
Well, either that or a weather balloon.
Now, on News Nation, Scott Roeder, who is a UFO expert, said that this looked like an entity that was cloaking itself.
Ooh.
Now, also on News Nation, Ben Hansen, pictured there, host of UFO Witness on the Discovery Channel.
That's who this guy is. Okay.
Says
I thought I recognized.
He says it appears the video is not edited. He said there was a meteor, but it may have had nothing to do with this incident. He suggested the possibility that you have an amplified perception when going out expecting to see something otherworldly. Okay. So maybe it was they went outside, they're expecting to see a meteor, they see some sort of flash, and then they see something else in their heads.
Right.
But bottom line is, we don't know. We do know that the video was not edited, however. So is it an alien cloaking itself? Is it a formed impression?
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
But all I can tell you is we're talking about it. And
we are talking about it.
If there are UFOs out there, it's not going to be for lack of us trying to tell you that they might be.
Right. Well, I've just started watching Alien Investigation or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a show on Netflix. I can't report on it on any of our shows because I haven't finished the season, but I can already tell you that when I do report on it and give my review, I'm gonna tell you it's very compelling and you should watch it.
Yeah, okay,
absolutely.
Okay,
so that was Mark's Not Your Mama's News. My Not Your Mama's News is something a little bit more down to earth, a little bit closer to home, a little bit more realistic.
Oh, okay.
Cheating on your spouse, thankfully, is no longer a crime in New York.
I didn't know it was a crime. With
the repeal of a little-known 1907 law. So all you guys and gals out there who are, looking to get a little action on the side because, maybe the marriage is just not, the spark is just not there, and if you're watching the picture, there you are snuggling with your one and only and holding his best friend's hand behind his back.
That's a naughty girl.
That is a naughty girl. We love naughty girls. But apparently it was illegal in New York since 1907. And New York repealed a seldom used, more than century-old law that made it a crime to cheat on your spouse.
Wow.
A misdemeanor that once could have landed you in jail for up to 3 months.
I had no idea.
Yep. I just spent a lot of time. No, I'm thinking about somebody else. Anyway, well, I've been fortunate to share a loving married life, the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, says, with my husband for 40 years, making it somewhat ironic for me to sign a bill decriminalizing adultery. I know that people often have complex relationships, she said. These matters should clearly be handled by these individuals and not our criminal justice system. Yes, let's get the waste out of the system. Let's take this silly, outdated statute off the books once and for all. Adultery bans are actually law in several states and were enacted to make it harder to get a divorce at a time when proving a spouse cheated was the only way to get a legal separation. Charges have been rare and convictions even rarer. Some states have also moved to repeal their adultery laws in recent years. New York defined adultery as when a person engages in sexual intercourse with another person at a time when he has a living spouse or the other person has a living spouse. So in other words, I didn't have sex with her, still got you a free pass.
Wow.
The state's law was first used a few weeks after it went into effect, according to a New York Times article, to arrest a married man and 25-year-old woman. Go figure. Let's see. About a dozen people have been charged under the law since the 1970s. Just 5 of those were convicted. So,
Crazy.
yeah. The state's law appears to have last been used in 2010 against a woman who was caught engaging in a sex act in a park, but the adultery charge was later dropped as part of a plea deal.
You know, it's interesting. You know, I've always wondered. You know, you'll see like on TV shows where they always, you know, if somebody's going through a divorce, they want to get a picture of the person cheating on them,
right?
And I always thought to myself, like, but how does that really even matter? It's not a crime.
Yeah.
But maybe it kind of is.
Well, they I guess in some states it was or has or still is, but I think it's more for like the divorce court proceedings. If the divorce goes to, you know, it's like, oh, they cheated on me. See, I deserve more money.
Right.
You know, I've never went down that road. So, I mean, I've gone down the divorce road, and
you were the one that they wanted more money from.
That's about pretty much.
Right.
Okay. So apparently, look, if you need a little side action, don't worry about it in New York City because it's no longer a crime. And that is it for this edition of
Not Your Mama's News.
You got it. Now we're moving on to the only lists that matter. And we started this last week. We're going to finish this list this week. Mark, what are the only lists that matter?
The only lists that matter are the ones that we come up with because we are intelligent and insightful and creative and knowledgeable.
Right.
Not everybody is. In fact, almost everybody else who puts together lists, none of those things.
Yeah.
That's why you listen to us.
That's right.
So we put together a list of the top 5 holiday / Christmas / TV shows / movies
/ whatever you want it to be
/
all the time
Guns N' Roses. And you know, we're up to number 2 and number 1 now. Yep. Number 3 was Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman. Number 5.
Number 5.
Right.
Number 4 was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Number 4.
Number 5 was a Charlie.
Number 3 was Charlie Brown.
Somebody,
it's been a long day.
It's been a long day, and I'm not counting very well.
Yeah, right. Frosty the Snowman. Number 5. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Number 4. And Charlie Brown Christmas.
Indeed.
Number 3.
So we are now at number 2. And number 2 is?
Number 2.
Elf. Okay. Will Ferrell and Elf.
Now, I'm going to admit something to you. I think you know what I'm going to admit to you.
You've never seen it?
I have never seen this movie.
This is depressing.
I want to see it.
Okay, so in 2003, this Christmas classic debuted starring Will Ferrell as Buddy the Elf, James Caan, Zooey Deschanel, Mary Steenburgen, and Bob Newhart also starred in the film. This film grossed $220 million worldwide off a budget of just $33 million.
Nice.
It also inspired a Broadway musical named Elf.
No way.
Yes.
You're kidding.
So the plot has basically a baby climbs into Santa's sack at an orphanage. Which is Will Ferrell.
Just the premise of this alone is hilarious.
Once at the North Pole, they, Mr. and Mrs. Claus decide to raise him as their own, and he thinks he's one of the elves.
But there's a problem.
So when he gets to adulthood, he finally discovers that he is a human. Now, he goes to New York City to seek out his parents that were never aware of his existence. Once it's confirmed that Buddy is the son of Walter, a children's book publisher, who's played by James Caan, they agree to, begrudgingly agrees to take him in. Now, Walter is struggling to publish his book, and Buddy makes fun of Walter's boss, which causes some trouble. Eventually, he forgives Buddy, and Buddy helps Santa with his sleigh, which had crashed in Central Park.
Okay.
Good God. Showing that the Christmas spirit can make miracles happen.
Wow.
And in the end, Walter and Buddy start their own publishing company together with a bestseller based on Buddy's adventures.
Oh, good Lord.
And it's
really good.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Okay. Number 2 must be number 2 on the list. The only lists that matter the top 5 holiday movies or TV shows of all time. Elf.
And that brings us to number 1.
Number 1. Now, this one I have seen, and I pretty much agree with you.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So Chevy Chase, big star back in the day.
Clark Griswold is back.
He stars in this 1989 Christmas classic. It also stars Beverly D'Angelo, Randy Quaid, and Juliette Lewis.
Shitter's full.
Yep.
I think that's the most famous line from that movie.
It grossed $73 million against a budget of $25 million. And to me, the bottom line with this one is there's just so many memorable scenes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've got the squirrel in the Christmas tree.
First thing that came to mind.
You've got, cutting into the turkey.
Yep. And it falls apart.
Right. It falls apart.
You've got the projector when he gets locked upstairs, and she yanks him down and he falls through the floor.
You've got the lighting of the house and subsequent kicking of the plastic reindeer when the power crashes.
Yeah. Was it a pre-Seinfeld Julia Louis-Dreyfus? Plays
that's right. As a neighbor,
the modern yuppie next door. Yeah,
you have the tirade that Clark goes on about not getting his Christmas bonus from his boss
because he's going to put it in his swimming pool.
And then you've got cousin Eddie kidnapping Clark's boss, who admits to canceling the bonuses, but then has a change of heart.
Yeah,
and Christmas is saved. It's a classic.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's one of those movies that when the holidays come and you're scrolling through. And you catch it, you watch it till the end, no matter where it is.
Yeah.
In the beginning or last 10 minutes. Because you can watch a minute of these are the classic movies. You can watch 30 seconds of it and your mind thinks you've watched the whole thing all over again.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
That's a classic movie. So number 1, the best Christmas or holiday TV show or movie of all time Schwaber has on his list is Christmas Vacation. I have to tell you, I agree with your list entirely. And number 1, Christmas Vacation is number 1 on my list. The only one that wouldn't be on my list is the obvious reason. That would be Elf, because I haven't seen it yet.
Right.
And even my kids have seen it. And I just, it's one of those movies that for some reason in 2003 when it came out, I wasn't really into Will Ferrell at that point. This is kind of the beginning of his really meteoric rise to fame from SNL throughout that. And so I wasn't really, and my first daughter was only like a 1.5 or 2 when the movie came out. So she wouldn't have wanted to go see it. She didn't even realize it. She didn't watch, she watched, Disney movies. So I just never saw it. And then I just never saw it and just never saw it and just never saw it and just never saw it. But around the holidays, people constantly quote it.
Right.
And they'll be laughing about it. So I've always had this curiosity. Right. This might be the year I go watch it.
I think you have to.
I can tell you one thing. My wife will not watch it with me. Because she just doesn't like movies like this.
Oh, she doesn't.
She actually doesn't really like Will Ferrell. She thinks he's a buffoon.
Really?
And I try to point out to her that that's the whole gig. He is a buffoon.
Right. I think he's probably the funniest of all time in movies.
Yeah, maybe we should do that for next season. But I would say yes, but it's starting to get old. So we're like 20 years into it now. Like Chevy Chase's shtick got old.
Well, Chevy Chase did get old. I think Will Ferrell's definitely lasted longer than Chevy Chase did at his prime.
I don't know, man. Chase, we could discuss that at some point. But there you have it.
For another show, another Off the Grid.
There you have it. The top 5 holiday Christmas TV shows, movies of all time. Mark has number 5 at Frosty the Snowman. Number 4, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Number 3, A Charlie Brown Christmas. These are all TV shows. Number 2 is Elf. And number 1 is the movie Christmas Vacation. I agree with you with all of them.
Was there anything that you would have put in there?
Yeah, I would have put in the movie, and I can't remember the name. It's the movie that was Tom Hanks and the Christmas Train. God. I watched it with my kids a billion times. Tom Hanks, and it was like a computerized Tom Hanks. Oh God! If I think of it during the show,
Thomas the Train.
No, not Thomas the Train. Good Lord, my kids would kill me if they could hear me now. Anyway, okay. So
and I was afraid that if you did a list, that you were going to say Die Hard.
Yeah, no,
which that is stupid. That is not a Christmas movie.
Well, it's a Christmas movie
happens during Christmas
because there's Christmas shit going on, and it was released over the holidays.
Right,
that's why.
Right,
but it wouldn't have made my list.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you for for sticking with me on that one.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. I brought a little pot with me here. Not the kind you smoke, the kind you put things in. And,
okay.
I'm going to put a little water in and turn on the heat.
I'm going to put a little beef broth in there.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And I'm going to put a little parsley and some thyme in there.
We always try to come up with these recipes, and it's probably like, that's disgusting. I'm going to put some potato chips in it.
Potato chips?
Yeah, why not?
Well,
potato chips, starch it up a little.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I'm going to have to maybe put some tomato paste in it.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. Sounds horrible, actually. Yeah. So you stir it all up, and what do you get?
You get stream sauce.
And what is that really? Because we sound horrible. We sound like we're talking about nonsense.
What it is there's so many things to stream. It's maddening. It's maddening.
It is maddening.
And there's so many choices. Too
many choices. Yeah.
Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Peacock, Max, Apple TV Plus, Scrooby, Booby, Wooby.
Yeah.
Whatever they are. Yeah. There's a million of them. And it's so damn hard to find something. Good news. We're here to help you.
That's right.
You're not going to have to surf. You're not going to have to look for it.
Nope.
We've got good picks for you.
Yep. And if they're bad picks, we're going to tell you that too.
Exactly.
We're going to say we wasted a lot of time on this for nothing.
Exactly.
So let us waste your time for you. The first show, Mark, the first show here. This is something I can honestly tell you, I will never watch this.
Why?
I don't know, but I'm just telling you, it's just not up my alley.
The Reluctant Traveler on Apple TV Plus with Eugene Levy.
Yep. Bueller.
It's that's not him. That's somebody else.
I know.
It's 2 seasons, and it's really, I found it to be very kind of fun and entertaining.
Yeah. What does he do? Go around and travel places?
Yeah. So basically, his whole kind of shtick, if you will, is that he's not really someone who likes to travel. Like, he doesn't want to go to like a really cold place, or he doesn't want to go on a safari. He just honestly would rather just be somewhere where he's in a nice hotel, just in total comfort.
Perfect.
Right.
I'm right there with him.
And so, what he does is he basically goes, every episode he goes somewhere else, and it's to get him out of his comfort zone. And so, for example, he takes a trip to Finland. And, one of the things they do in this part of Finland is you put on all this gear and you basically just like go for a relaxing float in an ice pond.
That sounds fantastic.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because he's just like, I don't know if this is a good idea, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And he's a funny guy, right? They go to Costa Rica, South Africa, Scotland, Greece, Spain. And it won some awards. It won Critics' Choice Award as Best Travel Adventure Show.
Yeah.
It was just fun. I don't know. Like, this is very similar to, like, you would like this kind of show if you like, for example, like, the Anthony Bourdain show, where you go and you kind of like learn about, like, a part of the world that you didn't know anything about.
Right.
And it's entertaining as part of it as well. It's similar to like a Stanley Tucci, discovering Italy.
Yeah. Except that Anthony Bourdain has a personality. I don't like Eugene Levy.
I think he's very funny. You don't like him?
No, I don't like him at all.
Well, he doesn't like you either.
All right. The Reluctant Traveler. Mark recommends it. I can't not recommend it. I've never seen it, but Mark recommends it. I think that if you like shows like that, give it a whirl. Let us know what you think. I am watching something that is a little older. But I got to tell you, every season that I watch, it gets better and better. I've just finished season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead. That's not The Walking Dead. It is Fear the Walking Dead. I began watching The Walking Dead a couple, maybe 2 years after the original Walking Dead came out. So I had to go back when they started offering them on streaming services. I had to go back and watch the first couple years. I gave up watching The Walking Dead, the original one, sometime around season 7-ish. And it wasn't because I didn't like it. I was just getting burnt out on it. And at the same time, Fear the Walking Dead was in like its second or third season. And I kind of burned out on that. So I've gone back and started from day one rewatching, and I'm watching all the Walking Dead series. Now, Fear the Walking Dead is basically The Walking Dead on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point from the original Walking Dead, a couple characters, they mingle.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that Fear the Walking Dead is, to me anyway, superior to The Walking Dead, even through season 4 now. And I think there's a couple reasons for that. One of them being that by the time they started filming Fear the Walking Dead, they had already filmed at least 3 seasons, if not more, of The Walking Dead.
I think so, yeah.
So they had time to iron some things out. But it also, if you watch The Walking Dead, it gives you, they did a really good job of juxtaposing the way that people lived on the West Coast and in the Southwest, where things are really hot and dry,
right?
And that culture they lived in versus living in Georgia and Southern and Northern Virginia on the East Coast, and just the personalities and how they mix. So it's really good. And I've always said that The Walking Dead was not about zombies. I mean, if you're not a zombie lover, fear not. They do. There are zombies, but they give it a realistic reason, and the way they make it so realistic is that you have no idea what happened.
Right.
At least in the early stages of the shows. Yeah. You have no idea why people die, and then all of a sudden they come back to life and they're just flesh-eating monsters. It's kind of like a pandemic. What the hell is going on?
Right.
And that theme really sticks with it. So the zombies kind of fall into the background. And then it becomes a study of how everyday normal people, like the star in the first few seasons, Madison, she was a high school guidance counselor. And then she becomes like a murdering protective mother.
Right.
Exactly. It's like, what do they do? So I love Fear the Walking Dead. I think it's a great show. You can watch it without watching The Walking Dead if you don't want to try that.
That's true.
When it has the crossover and they meet Morgan, you don't even need to know who Morgan is, because you find out who Morgan is again.
Right.
Throughout the show. So I highly suggest you go back and watch that.
It's good. Wait till you get to the end of it. You're going to be surprised by something.
I have not seen. And I've stopped watching it. It's 8 seasons. I'm actually in season 5 right now.
Okay.
I stopped watching right about now.
Okay.
Is when I stopped watching. So we're starting to come up on stuff that I haven't seen. So at the end of it, I'll probably give a review on the whole series. I did that with The Walking Dead. So my ingredient stream sauce, Fear the Walking Dead. You can find it right now on Netflix. This is Off the Grid Uncommon Ground. You can subscribe to us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Spotify is one of those places. And you can find us on YouTube and Facebook as well. And we'd love to have a review. Let's see. Mark and I have been friends for a long, long time. So we're basically just goofing around and getting our jollies by presenting this incredible series.
I would say goofing around. I wouldn't say getting our jollies.
Well, I mean, all right, maybe I shouldn't say that. Okay.
Think before you speak.
So this week on the final episode of season 4 of Off the Grid, my dinner choice. Last week we did Mark's dinner choice. Who do you want to go to dinner with?
Okay.
This is TD's dinner choice. I'm the technical director. TD's dinner choice. Who would you rather go to dinner with? I'm going to put their pictures up here. I thought I had their pictures in here. Oh, there's one of them. Oh, the other picture did not come in. So I'm going to do something that is very, very risky, and I'm going to try to bring that picture in. So who would you rather have dinner with? Kevin Spacey or Bill Clinton?
Okay. So now both of these folks have been bad boys.
Yes.
In different capacities.
No, kind of in the same capacity, but just in a different way. No, wait a minute.
No. Bill
went after women. Kevin went after men.
I thought Kevin went after children.
No. He went after men.
You sure about
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
You're
you watch
100% sure about
Yeah,
that?
100%. Did you watch the documentary?
No, there's a documentary about Kevin
there's a
Spacey.
whole documentary about Kevin Spacey. Yes.
Really?
Yes. It's not children. It's he was sexually harassing men. Most of the time they were men that were associated with the shows or the productions that he was either starring in or producing.
Really?
Yes.
So sexual misconduct
Yes.
allegations.
Yes. And he was acquitted in Great Britain. That's where they filed criminal charges for him. He was acquitted. But I happen to know somebody who worked with him for many years. Who
No. I'm right about this.
Well,
Ben.
one of the guys was like 17.
15.
Right. But it wasn't, that was an anomaly.
Okay.
Yeah. If you watch
It was an anomaly.
well, what I mean is that wasn't really his MO. His
Okay.
MO was men and power. Watch the documentary, Schwaber. I think it's
Okay.
on Max.
Okay.
I think
All
it's
right.
called I Am Kevin Spacey.
Boy, that sounds like a wonderful evening.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A misogynistic, powerful man who went after women, or a misogynistic, powerful man who went after men. Which
and
one?
one child.
And well, sure, but
I think
and one child.
I think
Okay,
I
all
think
right.
this one is easy. I think it's Bill Clinton.
Yeah, really?
I mean, Bill Clinton. I mean, look, he's fun. He's cool.
Yeah. He
You
knew
know,
Jeffrey Epstein.
well, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, he flew on his jet. He flew on his jet. The logs,
Oh.
the flight logs have him on the jet. He admitted to flying on the jet.
He didn't.
He's been to Pedophile Island.
He
He's
didn't
been
know.
there.
He didn't know.
Oh, yeah, he didn't know. He really didn't. That's right.
Well, Bill Clinton, he can play the
depends.
saxophone.
It depends on what your definition of the word is. Anyway,
I would go Bill Clinton. I
yeah.
just think it'd be
yeah.
a lot of interesting things to talk about with a head of state.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you?
I mean, I might pick Kevin Spacey
Why?
because I'd want to talk to Frank Underwood. He was also a head of state.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I would. Yeah, I would probably go Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Gun to your head, Bill Clinton. Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Spacey is just like, I don't know.
Bill Clinton, like you said, played the saxophone.
Kevin Spacey is like a deviant sexual behavior.
Yeah. Well,
Whereas Bill Clinton's more like, hey, try.
nothing deviant about what he did in the White House
Well,
with an intern.
he asked for a BJ.
Yeah. Well, and he got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the only reason why it's strange is because we know about it.
What about all the other women that accused him and that he paid off? Paula Jones, the state troopers in Arkansas that under oath admitted that he would constantly do that to women.
He likes women.
But that's not deviant behavior. That's not as bad as Kevin Spacey going after men, doing the same thing.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to back you into a corner.
I think Kevin Spacey is out there.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's a messed up dude.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I think there's a lot more in the Kevin Spacey world than what we even know.
I feel your pain. I feel your
pain, and it's been great to be your president.
So bad. All right, Bill Clinton or Kevin Spacey. I think we both decided it would be Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who is a musician I've never liked, and why are we doing that, Mark?
Well, because we need to try to figure out why. Why does America and the world like some of these people?
Yeah.
Please explain it to me.
Yeah.
Well, we will try to explain it.
Okay. So I actually feel bad for this guy. I mean, I do. Given what's come out in the last few months.
What has come out in the last few months? I don't know.
P. Diddy? The white parties, P. Diddy? You haven't seen the videos of him hanging out with P. Diddy?
I understand P. Diddy is in a world of trouble. What does Justin Bieber have to do with it? He was there in some of these?
P. Diddy basically took Justin Bieber under his wing when Justin Bieber was a teenager, a minor.
Okay.
P. Diddy took him to these white parties.
Okay.
And there are videos of him and Justin Bieber. And basically what has come out is that Justin Bieber was most likely a victim of a lot of the sexual deviant behavior that was going on at these parties.
So he was Bieber
abused.
is a sexual abuse victim.
He was P. Diddy's toy is pretty much what's coming out.
Really?
Yeah. Where in the hell have you been? You get on me about like not like you're stuck in the 90s. You haven't listened to new music since 2000, Klein, which is true. But then I'm like, Justin Bieber, P. Diddy. You're like, what? What are you talking about? I was just about to bash this kid.
I knew about Diddy.
You got to pay attention, Schwaber.
All right.
Like, you know what else is coming out?
What?
They're saying that Tom Hanks may have participated in some of these parties.
Really?
Tom Hanks.
That wouldn't surprise me. I've always felt there's something off about him.
That's funny.
I've always felt there's something off about him.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, let's go back to why
so Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
So Bieber, if you don't know, is regarded as a pop icon. He has estimated record sales over 150 million. He has 4 diamond certifications, not as many as Post Malone, but still pretty damn good. He has won 2 Grammy Awards and 18 American Music Awards. Time named him in 2011 one of the 100 most influential people in the world.
Good Lord.
3 times he was on the Forbes list of the most powerful celebrities.
Yeah.
And like I always do with these superstars, is I go to iTunes and I pull up the list of their most downloaded songs and I listen to them and I try with all my might to like some of the music.
Right.
Maybe 1 or 2 of them were okay.
Really?
I mean, they are not good.
Gotcha.
I don't get it. Like, is it because he's so good looking? He's
not that good looking.
Well, he's actually not that good looking, but no. I think like the body was good looking.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like for little girls and stuff.
Yeah.
But my God, like, geez, this is not good music.
No.
I mean, look, we're talking about pop here. Right. Like I can tell you that Michael Jackson has a lot of great music. I can tell you that even Justin Timberlake has a lot of great music.
He does.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is the same genre.
Yeah.
I don't see anything here. Nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
Wow.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Apparently 150 million people saw something because they bought his records.
Which is beyond me.
Yeah.
Beyond me. So Biebs, I'm sorry. I'm very, it's sad to hear that you were a victim of sexual abuse. So
yeah, that's terrible.
So now I would say I don't hate you, but
I just don't like your music.
But I don't like your music.
I just don't like your music.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
All right. Well, maybe now it's time to roll them up, Schwaber. Roll them up.
Roll them up.
Yep, roll them up. This is a song that you love, but you're so embarrassed that if you pull up at a stoplight and the windows are down, you got to roll up the window because you don't want anybody else to know that you love this song.
Okay.
And
this is something like this.
Yeah, something like this.
We got the beat. Everybody dance on your feet. We got the beat. You can dance to the beat. Do the beat. Don't cry. Round and round and round. Whoa! We got the beat. We got the beat. We got the beat.
You like this song that much that you blare it, but I mean, I can understand why you put the windows.
It's a good tune.
I think it's a good tune. I'm just saying, like you like it. Like you're rolling down the street. You're going to the grocery store. You're going to Aunt May's house or whatever.
Yeah.
The radio's on. You're not, or you got your iTunes on, and all of a sudden this song comes on. You're cranking it.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's an all the time crank,
right?
But I would say once in a while,
yeah,
it's a crank.
You're like the hell with it.
You're like, yeah, you're dreaming about Belinda Carlisle and the good looking days, and this band with all this energy. And back then, it was kind of like a big thing, like an all female band.
That was a big thing,
and they could rock, man.
They did.
These chicks could rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were fun.
Yeah. But you're not rolling up in the hood with that blaring out of your car.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
All right. So roll them up. Songs you're embarrassed to listen to in the car with the windows down. We got to beat the Go-Go's. All right. Last thing on the show tonight. How much money would it take for you to do something? And what that is, hey, look, there's things that people will pay money to actually do. Crazy shit. Okay. You know, we're two regular guys. We don't take too many risks anymore. I mean, I think the biggest risk I'm taking right now is I eat too much frozen food, you know, too much sodium.
Gotcha.
Like, we're minimalizing the risk here. So well, what we like to do is we like to talk about some things, maybe some fantasy type things that are really, really risky, life threatening, if you will. And how much money would it take for you to do this? So this is, this actually isn't, well, this would be life threatening to millennials and younger.
Definitely.
Yes. How much would you need to be paid to agree to no texting or emailing? Holy shit, for 3 years.
3 years.
Every contact with another person has to be done by phone call.
Obviously outside of talking in person.
Right.
But yes.
But you know, the funny thing is, like, until I think for the first like 30 years of our lives, that's how we did it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for us, it would be an adjustment.
It would be an adjustment, but still think about just how difficult that would be nowadays.
I don't know, man. I've become a little bit.
Think about like work.
Yeah, I don't really. We just talked about my job upstairs. Right. I don't need it for that.
Right. But imagine you were back in that
mortgages,
world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
impossible.
Right. I mean, just impossible. Right. So, but it's not, because it used to be
right
the way it was.
That's right.
So
wait, I'm trying to wrap my head around that sentence. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, just think about, like, you know, like, for example, when I leave here tonight, right? Amy had texted me.
She needs some more cinnamon bun spread.
Yeah, pick up this stuff at the market, right?
Oh God, did she really?
She did, actually.
Oh my God.
Now, what if I could not text back? Then she'd think I was being a jerk, but she'd probably know about the arrangement.
Yeah. Right.
But you know, but think about it this way, like, you know, I mean, think about it like, you know, like, let's say you're going to some sort of, we're going to an event, right? I mean, how many times you're like, you here?
Yeah.
You text, you here?
Yeah.
You know, like,
where are you?
You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
well, how in the hell did we live?
I don't know how we lived.
Seriously.
I don't know how we lived. So here's the thing. I mean, how important is it? So for 3 years, there's no texting, no emailing. That's it. You got to call people, do everything voice to voice.
How much money? Well, I gotta think. Okay.
No, you got to think too. So, like, I guess this would be the other part of it. The other part of it too is that, so what happens is, let's say your smartphone then is on lock, so nobody can text you.
Right. Okay. So now I'm looking at it and saying, okay, this means for me that my kids and I are not going to talk for 3 years, because they don't answer the phone. I don't even call them. You know, and when I do, they don't answer. So I just text them now.
Right. Now that's not an option.
What is it worth to this? For me, the question is, what is it worth to not talk to my kids for the next 3 years? And for that, I'd say nothing. I'm happy to. No. That was a joke. Actually, it was half of a joke.
You better specify.
It was half of a joke.
Okay.
There's 2 I love and 2 I don't. No, I'm just kidding. You see, for me, then you throw in my mom too. My mom is 85, but she will call me, but I never answer.
Right.
But she will text me. So this is getting better and better. I don't have to talk to my mother for 3 years. I don't have to talk to my kids for 3 years. Now, if they show up in my driveway and are like, "Dad, are you still alive?" I would be like, "Yeah, come on in, have a sandwich."
Right.
You know,
a sandwich.
Yeah, sandwich. Yeah. Then I would also know, if that happened in the first 6 months, if they leave, I don't have to talk to them again until they come to check and see if I'm alive.
Yeah.
So the answer is nothing for me.
You'll do it for nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
Huh.
I'm an isolationist.
Now, but think about this, though. I mean, really think about it. How much time do you spend like on your phone? You get that little thing that comes up and it's like you've been on it for like 5 hours a day or 6 hours a day or something.
Yeah, there are times when it's come up with me and it said, "Will you get the fuck off me?"
Right.
Yeah.
So I got, look, I mean, here's the bottom line. What it is it's an incredible inconvenience now is what it would be. An incredible inconvenience.
Right.
Now, because I'm also thinking about work. It's so much easier to email people to get things done because a lot of people just accept their communication that way.
Yep.
And then sometimes people, you got to text if you're going to get an answer. They don't email, they like to text.
Right.
So it'd be an incredible inconvenience, but one I'm willing to be well compensated for.
Right. Of course.
Now, because there's no issue of like bodily harm or anything.
Right.
I'm going to probably do this. I'd say $100,000 a year. So I'll do this for $300,000.
All right. So you're pretty much thinking I'm not going to get any work done. So that's the kind of money I'm losing. So give me the money I'm losing back.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah. See, we all have different circumstances. Yeah. I just want to get the hell away from people.
Now, the way you put it like that, now I feel like I need more money.
Right. I mean, honestly, there are days when I long for the old, like, where the hell are you? I'm just going to have to sit and wait, like, because I can disappear. Like my wife and I have each other on the friend finder. Do you and Amy have each other on the friend finder?
I don't think we do, actually.
Yeah, you should actually, just for safety. Yeah, that's what, Lauren has all her kids on friend finder. So she's like, oh, Aiden's in New York or whatever. And when my kids refused it because it was like I was invading their privacy.
Right.
But now that they're a little older, I'm going to give it another shot because it's like, I don't care where you are. What I care about is when it's been 2 days.
Right.
Then I can go back and see where your phone was at the last time it was on,
right. So we can find your dead body.
Right. Or find your phone and then it'll lead us to your dead body.
Right. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
For that safety.
They thought it was just like any other day, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay, folks. On that note,
that's it. Another season in the books.
Yep. Death and taxes and a down note to Off the Grid, season 4, episode 8. Anyway,
we hope you enjoyed the episode.
Yep.
Fun making them for you.
Yep.
And remember, you are all that matters.
That is
our fans.
Exactly right. Thank you so much. I get so I'm still trying to imagine a world where I don't have to talk to my mom. I think I'm getting a little excited.
Okay.
About that.
All right. So maybe you could pay us.
Yeah, that would be. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to season 4, episode 8 of Off the Grid Uncommon Ground. You can grab us anytime you want. Our podcast is on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. Leave us a review. It's been a great season 4. We're so happy to be back. For the Grant Schwabini, I'm your technical director. We'll see you in season 5. Coming soon. I am out.
Peace. And love.